Good morning, Monday. Hey, we are still dealing with some past tense verbs. I'll be honest, today and tomorrow are a lot of review from last week. Not that I didn't think you didn't get it, but there's so many rules with the different spellings with past tense. And that's why I don't want to move forward too quickly. To be honest with you, this whole week is dealing with past tense verbs. Again, today and tomorrow a little bit more review from last week. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be adding some of those helping verbs with the past tense, which we've gone through already. At least helping verbs, I should say. And then we're going to be dealing with just kind of a nice, easy, short review on Friday there to get you guys into the weekend. But today's only Monday, so let's go through some of this. If you remember correctly, again, I'm just doing this because it's a new week. I don't want you to forget from last week. An action verb describes what someone or something is doing. Every single sentence has to have a subject and a verb. A lot of times the subject is a noun. Not always, like in this case, she. That's a pronoun, but that's still the subject. The bus, that is a noun. That's a subject. And you got to ask yourself, well, what did she do? Tasted, that's the verb. That's the action verb. What did the bus do? Arrived. That's the action verb. That's what we're looking through. And you might have noticed that both of these are past tense verbs because both of these end in ed. So as we're dealing with past tense verbs, if you look at this chart, notice we're dealing with this blue column all the way down. Every single one ends in ed. Now, not every single past tense verb ends in ed. We're going to get to what we call irregular or crazy past tense verbs in a week or two. But these, my fine folks, what we're focusing on today, do all end in ed. That's a clue for you to understand that this happened in the past, right? Please notice, this is present tense. It means it's happening right now. If you want to show it already happened, whether it be a minute ago, an hour, that's the past. It already happened. Could be a decade ago. You add the ed. You add the ed. Some of them are nice because you just add ed. Some you got to double that consonant and add ed. But this is what I talk about with tenses. Sometimes people substitute the word tense for time. That kind of helps, right? We're talking about present time. Present tense or present time means it's happening right now. I talk to you on the screen. That's happening right now. Who was doing something? I. What am I doing? I talk, right? Past shows it's already happened. Past tense or past time. And the way you show that is if it ends in ed. Okay. For the most part, we're going to get to some irregular ones later. But for right now, we're focusing on the past tense verbs that end in ed. Future shows it will happen. It means it hasn't happened yet. Future time means it will happen. And this will is something you're going to see a lot next week when we talk about future verbs. But this is what we are reviewing for today. All these different rules. And it's okay, but just like I told you before, you gotta look at the chart on pages 104, 105, and you gotta look at the charts on top of your worksheets. Both of those are going to help you greatly because it's hard to keep these all straight, even though we went through them last week because there's so many different ones. It's kind of nice when you just have to add ed. That happens a lot. There's other ones where they already end in e, so there you just add a d. You remember this from nouns, and I know we're not dealing with nouns, but you change, if it's a consonant right before the y, you change the y to I and add ed. And some, you got to double that last consonant and then add ed. So, this is the chart I was talking about. Or, take a look at pages 104 and 105 in your book. And here's what you have to do. At the end of each sentence, and I'm sorry this one's a little light, I think you can still see it, but you have to change this present tense verb into a past tense verb. And yes, you have to write the sentence. Just like last week, there's only 8 of them. You're going to be okay. But I'm asking you to write the sentence just so you're used to writing past tense verbs that end in ed. Now, you're going to have different rules. Some you just add ed. Some already end in e. Do you remember what to do? Well, look up here, Some end with a consonant in y. Look up here for the rule. Some end with a vowel in y. Look up here for the rule. Some you might have to double the last consonant. Look up here for that rule. But please, just like they showed in the example, make this present tense a past tense verb and then write the sentence. My aunt moved yesterday. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We're going to have one more review day tomorrow and then get into some past tense verbs with helping verbs on Wednesday. Lord's blessings to you guys on this Monday. Have a wonderful day as you praise the Savior.